Hello, welcome to another edition of Mind Your Mindset. This is your hostess, Jessica Barkley. Hello, and I am so pleased to be here with you again and discussing all these different topics that affect our lives on an everyday basis and that really, help us just change our mindset just by a little switch of perception. You can make such a huge difference in your life, and you can change your life by only changing your mindset. So this is the whole purpose of my podcast. I really want to appeal to those who are ready to listen to the message and that can identify with a lot of the issues and the things going on in their lives and ways in which they can improve it. So very important. First of all, I can't emphasize how important it is that being aligned and being in touch with yourself, being in touch with your inner being, that sounds a little bit better, and knowing who you are empowers you to have a clear mindset. And having a clear mindset is all about, knowing where you want to go, keeping that vision, and making your decisions without hesitation, because you are being guided by your own spirit, by your own soul. You want to call it God. I don't like to use the word God because it implies so many things. So sometimes I'll use the word source, or the energy that creates worlds, or just the universe. Whatever suits you. You have that power all within you. You don't have to go out there and look for it. You have it within you. And you know where it is? Right in your mind. So let's get to it. Today, I want to talk about raising our expectations about others. So this is a very important subject because today I'm going to give you tools that will actually really will help you in your relationships with others. Whether it's work, whether it's friends, whether it's family, it is just going to be amazing when you realize how much you influence the way your relationships go. You see, first of all, we got to find alignment within ourselves in order to be able to help others find alignment as well. So when you reach that alignment within you, then you'll be more powerful to acknowledge what needs to be done and how to handle certain situations. For example, what I'm talking about is that people will surprisingly perform to the level of your expectations. So when you don't like how other people are treating you, or when you expect somebody to treat you a certain way, when you expect somebody to react a certain way, isn't it not surprising that they actually do behave the way you expect them to? I mean, sometimes we really are setting ourselves up for the disappointment. It's not about that person. I do believe it, that it is about us bringing that aspect of that person to us. So how do you explain that sometimes we feel like we are compelled to be so nice to some people and sometimes we just want to be so mean to others? This is because these people are bringing an energy and they're also expecting you to be a certain way with them. They do it consciously. I mean, subconscious, we're going to talk about that some other time, but the subconscious is not playing here. All that you're doing is your thinking, your power of your thought. What you're thinking now, that's what you're attracting. So next time that you think, but this person did this to me, think about it. What were you expecting that person to do? How are you looking at it? Are you looking at yourself from the point of that you're the victim and this person took advantage of you? Well, then for sure that person's going to take advantage of you because you are feeling like a victim. You're the perfect fit. So you're going to bring that out on that person, even though that person might have never done it with anybody else. So watch for those signs within you before you even watch for those signs on others. And see next time in which ways have you collaborated for that person to bring that behavior to your experience. So I want to give you a couple of examples. For example, sometimes when children perform poorly in school, this is why I really have a problem with the current academic system, especially for elementary school and high school, because this grading system is just such a kick to the self-esteem, and once kids start doing poorly and they have a couple of bad grades, most of them are going to, because the teachers react, the parents react, and they'll go, yo, you guys can't believe you're doing this. They criticizing, they get locked up in a room, or they lose their privilege, and all these things are being, punishments are being inflicted on them. And most of them say, to themselves, it's like saying to them, you're no good, you don't deserve your freedom, you don't deserve having your phone because you flunked at this test. And what a discouraging way of trying to encourage somebody to bring good grades home or to improve, instead of being the encouragers and the uplifters that we're really meant to be. First of all, we are setting our expectations for those kids to fail because we are already giving them a message, and then those kids are going to fulfill the expectations. So it's no surprise that even though some kids have amazing parents, their performance in life and in school is not that great. Why? Because maybe these amazing parents didn't have the expectations for these kids just because they made one mistake or two when they were growing up, or they had a different way of learning. I'm not going to say a disability for learning. I'm going to say a different way of learning, because let's face it, we are all different. We all learn in different ways. So get used to it. And I think the school system has to actually adapt to this. And I don't know how, I'm not a teacher, but this is something that needs to be addressed so that our kids can feel better about performing. Our kids can be inspired about performing well in school and finding interest, that they matters and subjects interesting, so that they can actually, really get involved in it and find the reinforcement, the positive reinforcement that they need. Now, sometimes, there's couples that, that when the divorce comes, right? Because, he cheated on me. It's almost like this person brought it upon herself. I'm not saying that she brought it upon herself for this guy to cheat on her, but when if she had a previous experience in another relationship where a guy cheated on her, and then she hasn't wiped out that slate clean, and there's still that vibration of victim within her, she's going to bring this into her next relationship. And then the guy, most likely, even though he probably didn't have it in his mind, guess what? She's going to attract a guy that is going to cheat on her. And it is a weird thing, and I don't want to say that these guys are innocent or good guys and they're just being made to cheat. I'm saying that, watch where your vibration is, watch your expectation about this other person, and trusting the other person, and trusting that other person to do well and to do well by you. For example, I had, again, the daughter of a close friend of mine, young girl, a beautiful relationship. She was going through a wonderful love relationship with her boyfriend. But then one day she calls me, she goes, I am so tired of my boyfriend dumping all his stress on me. Like, he has a stressful situation at work sometimes. And then he comes, the first thing he does is just dump everything, all of this stress on me. And I am having a perfectly nice day. I'm trying to align myself. I don't want to, she's very aware of alignment and, being in touch with your inner being and all of that. So when that person came with all of this, and this person very close to her boyfriend of all people, she felt like it affected her, and she didn't want to go through that because it was enough that he was going through it, that she had to bring it home. I don't think he did it on purpose. He just needed to let out. And most of the time we do let out with the people that we love the most, unfortunately. So I gave her some advice. I said, well, you know what? I know how you're feeling. And he went home. And then I said, why don't you, tomorrow morning, because I said, wait till you're aligned again. Right now you're very upset and it won't be a good time. But wait tomorrow morning when your energy is back on track, when you first wake up in the morning and you're feeling good, you have meditated, try to write a list of all the positive aspects of your relationship with him and of him. So start writing all these things out and look at him in ways that your inner being will see him. Look at him with the eyes of love, with the eyes that you looked at him when you first met him. Try to bring up those feelings again and wait and see what happens. So she started doing this list, and she hadn't even finished the list. She was in the last couple of items, I think, when she gets a text from him. and he was saying, apologizing for the way he treated her and for dumping his stress, and he was going to work on this because he recognized that it was something that it was not a positive thing in their relationship. And since then they have worked on it, and it's been wonderful. So she now has this tool that is amazing. I mean, I tried with another person the other day, and it was amazing because this person's just going on and how, just had this momentum of negativity going about something that she thought I had done to her, which really wasn't. But she wasn't wanting to look at herself like a victim. So she just, the momentum by the end of the text, it was like I didn't want to be part of this anymore. So I disengaged, and I never allowed. Very important. I never allowed her negativity to affect me. I stood my ground. I realized that she was going through something, and I stood clear of that vibration. I really stood clear of that energy, and I didn't engage in that negativity. So I remember this list. So at night, the next morning, I went ahead and started making this list. I said, okay, but she's this and she's that. And I started bringing out all the positive aspects of her personality and why I decided to, become friends with her to begin with, and how reasonable she was and how smart she was and what a wonderful person she really was to her family and all these wonderful aspects of her. Well, 20 minutes after I finished this list, I get a text apologizing that she recognized that she was venting on me, that it was not fair, and all of these things. So this works. And if you have a relationship, which we all do in your life, that are not working a certain way, try to look at them at this way. Your boss, or there's people you work with, you can raise the expectations of the people that you are around. When you do that, when you look at them in a different way, when you look at them with the eyes of love, with the eyes of your inner being, the Persians have a wonderful saying, because they have this Persian saying, when you give a compliment, they say, oh, you're looking at me through the eyes of love. And what a beautiful expression. I love it. So let's try to start looking at people more like that. Also, when you see somebody that is ill, that is sick, if you go there and start commiserating with them and getting so low in your vibration because you feel so sorry for them, you're not helping them. The best way to help them is not to lose your alignment. Look at them as powerful enough to beat that illness or whatever it is that they're going through, and knowing that all the while their inner being is going to help them get through that situation and be the wonderful, happy people that they're meant to be and healthy people that they're meant to be. When you do this, you're really releasing an amazing energy that their inner being is going to receive in turn, and together your two inner beings are going to just amazingly make this energy rise for them. And you're going to notice that that person is going to feel so much better when you're around. Isn't that the case? That sometimes when you go and you see somebody and you do this, you're going to see that this person wants to be around you because they feel better. Just the fact that you're there, you're not commiserating, you're helping them raise their vibration. And that's what you want to be. You want to be an uplifter. And in order to be an uplifter, guess what? You gotta be uplifted yourself, because there's no way you can help anybody if you're down in the dumps. Your energy is mush. So be very aware of this, meditate, and be good to yourself, and think always the best possible outcome, and look at that outcome that you want. And for your friends that are not going well, look at the outcome that they want. Start talking to them about that outcome and have them concentrate and guide them a little bit through it. You'll be helping them, and you'll be helping yourself, and you'll be realizing how powerful you can be. So I want to leave you with a quote from my book, Mind Your Mindset, and the quote goes like this: people will rise to the level of our expectations. The question is, what kind of expectations are you holding for them? Or are we holding for them? So be very careful of the kind of expectations you hold for people. When they're good ones, they will surprise you. Anyways, again, this is Jessica Barkley with Mind Your Mindset. I love talking to you. Please send your comments to mindyourmind2018@gmail.com. I love to hear from you. Questions, comments, suggestions. So I leave you for today, and do be good to yourself. Treat yourself well, and love yourself unconditionally. and rise every day like it's the best, always with a good feeling and a good thought. First thing in the morning, do your meditation. And until the next podcast, I want to wish you a wonderful day. This is Jessica Barkley. Have a great day.